Welcome to Zero's Game Room, where all things gaming takes place. Interviews, discussions, and the latest gaming news. So take a seat, get comfortable, adjust your headset, because it's game time. Here's your host, Zero.
Yes, get yourself comfortable, and thank you for checking into ZGR, Zero's Game Room. It is I, your host, Zero, and with me, my co-host, as always, it's Onpred.
Hey, how's it going?
We're gonna have a party today, and by party, it's not really a party. It's actually a lot of news has come out within the last couple hours. Like the last 48 to 24 hours, from things like Smash Bros. We got what is our considered, or I think even Sakurai said it's the last trailer that we're getting when it comes.
Don't say that, man. No, my heart for Sakurai. Don't say that, man.
Smash is literally a month away. What are you talking about?
I want more.
Well, they're going to give us more, and I guess we'll kind of dive into that. But first thing that we need to get out of the way that I think is that PlayStation, look, okay. A lot of our listeners know that I am a person who loves PlayStation. Garrison King, who has been on the podcast multiple times, he's our Xbox, I don't want to say fanboy expert, our Xbox expert. Yes, but he, we can't all make great decisions, and he's one of those that, not to anybody that doesn't like Xbox or does, to each their own. But PlayStation, look at me. What are you doing? We had Nintendo come out with the NES Classic, and that sold like hotcakes. Then they came out with the SNES Classic, which also sold great. PlayStation, I see what you're doing here. You're jumping on the bandwagon here. But tell me why, Onpred, these selection of games are so, how do I put this, insignificant?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not really seeing anything that I'm like, wow, I have to play that. And I think a lot of this is the nostalgia factor that they're trying to put in, but there's nothing really good. I mean, again, we talked before the show, and I think out of the 20 games, we like 6, maybe 7?
Something like that. And maybe it's because of our age range. Maybe there are people who are younger than us that maybe grew up with the PlayStation more, because I know I grew up with the Super Nintendo. Like, that was my console. But like, when you look back at the past, these consoles that have come out, these the classics, they all had some sort of defining games in them that made that system. And here, let me read off the list real quick. That's coming out. Mind you, this is $100. You have Battle Arena Toshinden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, which, okay, that's a good one. Grand Theft Auto, okay, maybe. Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, okay, that's a good one. Mr. Driller, I hear Oddsworld, Abe's Odyssey's good. Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut. Probably my favorite one, Revelations Persona, which is Persona 1 for all of you people who have not played it. Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo is like anime meets, like anime Capcom characters meet Street Fighter in a puzzle game. So take that how you will. Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. Out of all of these games, none of them stand out. And a lot of fans are complaining like, where's Crash? Where's Spyro? Well, they probably weren't included here because, well, the Reignited trilogy is literally going to be out next week. And we already got the Crash Insane trilogy. But what I would have liked to see is games like, I don't know if you, maybe it was a hidden gem, I don't know, Croc? Like, was I the only one who played that? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just think that they're not, there's no game on here that I can just look at it and be like, yep, this game right here, other than arguably Final Fantasy VII and maybe Metal Gear Solid. And there's like 3. Final Fantasy VII, Metal Gear Solid, and Resident Evil. For me, at least. What about you?
You know what? I like Rayman, I like Tekken 3, and I like Metal Gear Solid. The only thing that I'm kind of skeptical about is that, I'm not sure if you know this, but the SNES and the Super Nintendo, they the moment they were released, they got hacked. They actually found out the emulators for them, and it was posted up online. So it's going to be interesting, at least on the technical side of it, if these games are going to be up on the internet within 10 hours, or maybe the emulator is going to be official, then all the games that you could have won on the PS1 boom.
I mean,
Like,
granted, we've always had access to PS1 emulators, so I see that. But what do you mean? Like, people were able to hack more games into these consoles?
Yeah, they're able to hack into these consoles, and they're able to get a better emulator, because most emulators that people have are community-based, and they had to build it from the ground up. But with these ones, these are official licensed, so that would be
They run
interesting.
better, right, with less glitches and stuff like that. Because that's true. There are some games that you have to have certain configurations because they were mostly fan-based, like you said. But, yeah, I don't know. PlayStation, it's all these games. Like, I don't know, maybe to somebody else this is like, what are you talking about? These were my childhood. But for me, other than like Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, which I still think is overrated, and Resident Evil, I think Resident Evil for me, out of all of these, probably has to be the diamond in the rough. Because that's where the survival horror genre, started. But I don't know, man. Like, this doesn't seem worth $100. Even like the SNES Classic is like $80, and the NES Classic is like $60. $100 for all this? I don't know. I think there could have been some other games better that could have been suited here. I don't know.
I think so. I welcome it, though. Don't get me wrong. I welcome
Yeah, I'm not
the
trying to hate on
PlayStation
it.
Classic, and I even welcome. I think there's a rumor that the N64 Classic or some kind of versions of an emulator will come out. So that's always interesting. And then, would you want an Xbox One? Just from top of the head.
I feel like that. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine where where do you cut it off? Because while I do agree that's where these classic things are great, how far is too far to where you're like, because like if I talk to some people, like I guess people my age, like they consider the PS2 to be a retro console. And when I think retro, I don't immediately think PS2. When I think retro, I think
PS1.
I think PS1, N64, SNES, NES. Those are why. So for Xbox, I don't know, but I mean Xbox was essentially the competitor here. But I don't know. Then it's like, would the PS2 get a classic? No, right? Because that's I feel like
right. It's fairly too recent. Yeah.
So then the argument gets brought up: should Xbox get a classic? Because it kind of has the same graphics as the PS2. Like, because the PS3 and the Xbox 360, those were on par. So I would have to rate the Xbox closer to the PS2. There was no real competition when it came to the PS1.
I think it would be interesting to see if Microsoft would release an Xbox, because I know even though they like a lot of exclusives, I think it would be really cool. I mean, I know that they have they have a lot of backwards capability, and they always have new months. They always have months where they release new games of like older games. So I think they might have shot themselves on the foot with that one, and everybody did a whole hype train on that.
I think you're right. I think they might have shot themselves in the foot, where I don't think they would release a Xbox Classic, I guess. That sounds so weird to say. It just doesn't sound right, first of all. Second of all, like, you're right. Because very, very often, even now to the Xbox One, you can purchase these older games already in high definition on your Xbox One. So, you know what? I think instead of going from a maybe, I really don't think they'll do it. There's no point to it when you can spend $6 and get the game you want, which kind of goes into the argument that I was trying to say a couple months ago when we were arguing about, like, virtual consoles and stuff like that, and why the Switch should have one, and you were saying it shouldn't. You could spend $6, $7, $8 to buy Banjo-Kazooie on an Xbox One, and it'll be in HD. So, no, the Xbox should not get... I think the PlayStation, this is where they need to cut it off.
Yeah.
After this, there should not be another type of classic, because, I mean, that's just weird. Xbox Classic? No, that's...
I think Nintendo should also stop at the 64. If they do it, I think the 64. All right, you got me. Anything higher like the GameCube, you better stop.
No, you better stop. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I 1000% agree, because it's just like, no, it starts not feeling retro and classic, because it's like, I don't think it's had enough time to be a classic,
vintage classic game. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with PlayStation. Not necessarily the worst. Maybe this is for you. Maybe you didn't get to live through these games. Like I said, Wild Arms is a gem of a turn-based RPG. If you're a guy who likes fighters, Tekken 3 was essentially the best one because it smoothed out everything. Persona if you've ever wanted to try Persona 1, now's your chance. And Resident Evil, I think that's the thing we need to reiterate. We're not saying this is trash, just compared to what we have seen with the SNES Classic and the NES Classic, it just doesn't meet our standards.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Any last words on that?
I think people need to stop complaining that there's emulators already. I think people need to stop complaining that, we already can get an emulator on this game and I just have to download the game. I think people need to understand that this product, the PlayStation Classic, is not for them. It's for people that are less tech savvy, and I think they're not having the power adapter on the back is so stupid.
Oh yeah, let's not even get into that, because you're right, the power adapter doesn't come with this, then you're spending $100. But
you would think, but...
Yeah, no, because I'm going to piggyback of what you just said, because even I know with a coworker of mine, I told him about this SNES Classic. He's like 30. He's still young. He's like 32, 33 years old. I told him about it, and he's like, oh, really? Like, he's like, does it have Super Mario Kart? Because I grew up on Super Mario Kart. I'm like, yeah. So for him, and even the day after, he told me, he's like, man, it is so simple. You just take an HDMI, plug it into my TV, plug in the power, and I just turn it on, and the games are there. And I'm like, yeah it's that simple. And like I agree, people should not complain, because these are for people who are, one, not tech savvy, or two, just somebody who actually likes to be on a TV screen and a couch and a controller in their hand, because the controllers are they're identical to what they were back in the day. So maybe they prefer that, and that's totally fine. So maybe they don't want to be hunched on a third party controller or whatever, but I don't know, to each their own. Don't complain. If you want to just emulate it. But for people, I just think the price is a little too steep for what you're getting, and that you're not getting an AC adapter. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But some more exciting news that I mentioned earlier was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the last trailer. Andred, what were the last characters we got?
Well, first, I think they announced this trailer at like the last minute, which caught me and you off by surprise.
Fair enough. Yeah, I did. No, I had no idea that the usually you and I are really on top of when directs are going to happen. This one, we're not even close.
I think it was like 8 o'clock. That's when I woke up, and then I immediately texted you. Was like, "Yo, Zero,
he did. He
get
really
on."
Did. He really did. I woke up and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I was like, "Why? Who's booty calling me?
Who's booty call? What? I do not have you as booty call as content.
Hey, man.
Hey! Did you go through my phone? Did you change it?
Of course, man.
Oh crap! You really are booty call, huh? Go figure.
So the new things.
Yeah, go for it. You can take this one.
Oh yeah, thanks, man. So the new things that are coming out, the new characters. So you have Ken, who's the Echo Fighter of Ryu. You have Incineroar, which is another Pokemon, which I'm gonna put my 2 cents on that. I think there's too many Pokemon in the game.
Too many Fire Emblem, too many Pokemon, yeah.
Exactly. That's too much for me. And then at the very last minute, they announced that Piranha Plant is gonna be in the game, which you would kind of wonder, how does that fit? But it's just the baby Piranha Plant in a pot. And he just walks around. And with his ultimate smash, that's where you see the boss
Petey Piranha.
Petey Piranha from Super Mario Sunshine. That's where you see him in that game.
No, I would agree. And you actually get to fight Petey Piranha back in Super Smash Bros. Brawl if you played the Subspace Emissary. He's one of the first few bosses you can fight. But jumping off from your point, I will agree that there are too many Pokemon. Let's take a look. We have Pokemon Trainer, which if you want to count that as one character, that's fine. But you get Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. We have Pikachu. We have Jigglypuff. We have Lucario. We have
Greninja.
Mewtwo, and we have Greninja.
Yeah, that's a lot, man.
Yeah, that's a lot of Pokemon. Like, granted, I don't know. I forgot to send it to you. I was on Instagram earlier and I saw a meme where it's like, finally they gave us the 3 full starters evolution line in Smash Brothers, and it shows Incineroar, Greninja, and the Piranha Plant. Because I thought that was so dumb. I was like, ha.
It's too hits hard at home.
For reals, don't give us Waluigi. Don't give us Geno. Don't give us Zero or anything. Give us Piranha Plant. That's all I ever wanted.
Yeah,
I will say,
of course.
This is how I feel. When it came to Ken, I felt like that was inevitable because you had Ryu. So why Ken had to be in it at some point, whether it be DLC, different skin, whatever. As for Incineroar, I have mixed feelings about it. I think he's cool, but I do think the Pokemon is oversaturated. I'm gonna be in the camp of Piranha Plant. I'm 100% behind Piranha Plant because he is so different than any other character I've ever seen in my goddamn entire life that I kind of have to support it. Where it's like, Sakurai, you're doing great things out here.
I fully take the Piranha Plant more than Incineroar, even though he's such a good addition as a Pokemon and as a fighter. Like you said before, the whole saturated thing. For me, it's Ken, Piranha Plant, then Incineroar. But
when it came to new characters, yeah.
But what do you think about the past? So for the past, they're going to come out with 5 new fighters, which is going to come with 1 new fighter, 1 new stage, and a couple music.
Yeah, I think it's all the music tracks that comes with it. Yeah.
So do you think it's worth $25 if you buy the pass, or if you each buy one of them at a time, it's going to be $30? Do you think it's justified?
I personally think that the pass is justified if you're a hardcore Smash, because we're not out here making accusations here, but I do want to say that I think this Smash might be Sakurai's last Smash. For the fact of a lot of things. One, it's called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, how much better can you get than Ultimate? You know what I mean? And you're bringing every single character from every single Smash into this, and now you're creating 5 new ones. Like, if you're going to go all out on a Smash game, it should be this one. Not only that, if you buy each one individually, it's $6. So you're essentially saving $5 in a nutshell here. So $25 for 5 characters, I think that's kind of pretty, reasonable when it comes to Smash. You're going to get your full money's worth, and this might be, like I said, Sakurai's last Smash. Not only that, but we picked up on something that I don't know how many people have talked about this, because there is a story mode in this, and the Thanos jokes commence because, there's a snap and all the guys were turned into. Anywho. But the hero that you are presumably starting off with is Kirby. And Onpred, what makes Kirby so special? Why, out of every single character, did Daddy Sakurai say, Kirby? You will be the hero.
I know. So
yes,
the reason
you, Onpred. Yes, you down in the front. Yes, you.
Yes. Sakurai, that's his very first game that he made, the character. It's Kirby. And I think that's such a cool rendition of... It started off with Kirby, and here it goes from this kid named Sakurai working at Nintendo, just making a GameCube game. Not a GameCube game, a Game Boy game. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, man, you worked your whole life, 30 years... and you're making this grand ultimate game, man.
You've created a franchise that have brought people together, tournaments. Smash has been something since the N64 to now the Switch. Like this, how do you go up from here? Like this really does feel like this is the last hurrah. And how poetic is it that you're bringing everything together and you have this system of spirits? And we could probably make a whole episode just talking about spirits and like what we know about Smash, because this is just a news episode, but we might need to go in depth. But yeah, just the fact that Daddy Sakurai has chosen Kirby to be this little hero, to go on his adventure and rescue everybody. Obviously, you're going to be able to use the other ones, but I digress. It's so poetic that this would be the way Sakurai finishes his last Smash. Plus, during the Direct, I did feel kind of bad. At one point, he kind of like did that sigh. Will I ever get a break? And it's just like, you can tell he has so much love for these games.
He put a lot of love and a lot of attention, and you can kind of see that he's not eating well. Like his body it's taking a toll on him. And I think as a fan of Nintendo and Smash, if this was his last game ever, I would completely understand. I wouldn't even complain.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't either. But just because this game brings people together. Yes, obviously you're fighting each other and it arguably ruins friendships, but no, I think for the greater thing, it brings people together. Not only that, just look at the language options that you can put this game in different languages, and even the song, which was weird in English.
I'm not a fan of the song. I like the music. I'm just the English lyrics on that song. It was meant for Japanese. I agree.
And that's kind of like the big news going on right now. When it comes to like video game, just direct things that have happened this week, the PS1 Classic and Smash Brothers. It's close. It's a month away. Are you going to be getting it? You, the the listener, are you going to be getting it?
Oh, I'm going to be getting it. I'm going to get the Fighter's Pass, and I'm going to make sure that when it. And I'm gonna get the online play.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do that too. Don't worry, I'll dive deep in with you too, so we can both get in. We'll have fun times playing Smash, and then we can talk about it on here. Is it really that great? I guess we're gonna find out. But for now, we are gonna get out of here. I want to always thank you for taking the time to listen to ZGR. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Zero's Game Room on Twitter and at Zero's Gaming Room on Facebook. Give us a like, give us a share. But as of right now, ZGR's room is just officially closed. Until next time.
Bye.